Let me go on expressing myself this morning, Monday, June 22nd, 2026 at it's 12:25 p.m. First of all, I want to say that I have been in a virtual solitary confinement for real for over 40 years. Doesn't matter to me whether people believe that or not. Okay, this is a fact of my reality, and I got to say it's a cruelty of this society on me that is an atrocity level crime on my life. It is, and it goes all the way back to probably my birth into a family where I was not the son of the man who was supposed to have been my father. My biological father was his father, apparently, and this brought me into incredible emotional and later sexual abuse. The abuse I suffered emotionally and psychologically was atrocity level, and it led up to this man who was a medical doctor engineering what I'm calling a murder attempt disguised as an involuntary commitment that was a farce in itself. So the abuses I suffered were atrocity level, and they wrecked my life on this earth. Now I'm now an old man approaching the end of my life, and I figured out on my own, no help. I have been running with all my might from the people who use this word help as their battle cry for having to do with people they believe to be mentally diseased. And I've been running from them with all my might ever since they got involved in my life when they should not have, or if they had been involved, they should have been on my side, and they were looking at me as an enemy. And so this life of mine has been so screwy that the best I can do to look for an analogy is to say that I am like a modern person in the position today, by analogy, of someone accused of being a heretic 1,000 years ago. If you were accused of being a heretic 1,000 years ago, it was over for you in Christianity. Now, I'm aware of one Jewish heretic, Spinoza, and I looked a little into his life, and he continued to live a normal life after being accused of being a heretic by the Jews. That didn't end his life. He went on living a fairly normal life. But if you were a Christian and you were accused of being a heretic, usually what went with that was a sentence of death. You were killed for being a heretic. So if you even were Joan of Arc, you suffered death, and so you didn't want to be considered a heretic in the Middle Ages. It was over for you, and that's what's happened to me in the modern time. I've been declared to be crazy, and this is this exact same fate today as being declared a heretic 1,000 years ago. It's the exact same fate. So my life was over once that happened to me, and I've been a ghost ever since, and I'm going to be a ghost the rest of my life. There's no way out of this. Like I say, the declaration that you were a heretic 1,000 years ago, it brought the sentence of death usually. Although I'm not a scholar on this, but just across my lifetime as a scholar and reading here and there in this area as I've gone along, I'd say that what's happened to me, it's irreversible. I'm going to somehow correct people's views that I'm not a madman. No, this is not going to happen. This is exactly what happened 1,000 years ago. If you were declared a heretic, it was over for you. Now today, nobody's actually killed me. I'm living, but I'm saying my life has been like a ghost. And I'm afraid to have any views or to expose myself in any way that makes myself visible as somehow an individual who somehow counts. In reality, no. The world out there is absolutely hostile toward the person I am, and it will do anything it can to extinguish me, including medicate me, imprison me, ostracize me into absolute solitary confinement. And I'm saying that there's no way out of this, even when I try to conform in ways that will be pleasing to these abusive loony bins who have done this to me. That in itself is a complete denial of who I am as a person, to try to get along with these folks that way. So essentially, they have killed me over 40 years ago. And so what remains in my life is just living out the life in a virtual solitary confinement. You want to socialize with these folks? You're going to have to be the person you're not. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to admit certain things about yourself that are not true. And you cannot be yourself. You've been killed as a person, and there's no way around that. These people maintain that they're right in their view, that your mind is somehow diseased, your view of yourself is wrong, and the rest of it. Well, there's no way out of that. I can say from a lifetime of experience in this mess that all I'm saying is true. It's hideous, and it's true. Well, those are my thoughts off the bat this morning. It's not morning, it's afternoon, but I slept late. I'm retired, and I'll sleep whenever I want. I'm in solitary confinement. Here's an example of the kind of world I'm in. This is not a quiet moment. This is my world. Here, listen up. This is not a desired reality that I'm in. This is a forced, a brutally forced reality on me where, as I say, unless I accept the denial of who I am, I'm going to be here, because the world out there is saying no to me forever. And it's done that, and it will continue to do it for the remainder of my life. And I'm saying back, no to you. You say these things about me are true, I say no to you. And I'll die in this solitude, in this absolutely hideous reality. It's an enforced solitary confinement. I'll die in it rather than give in to your delusional views about me. And it's worse than delusional. You are a criminal in what you've done to me in my lifetime. And I will not let go of that. I will not let go of it. You are guilty of essentially murdering me and causing me to live as a ghost for over 40 years now, and I'm not going to let go of that view. That is the correct view of what's happened. Is that you, Chris? We want justice.